days around.
Hello and welcome to the Tottenham America channel. Today we will be rating every player's performance from Tottenham Hotspur's 2-0 win over West Ham United, as goals from Emerson Royal and substitute Heung-min Son sealed the deal for the Lily Whites and saw them move into 4th place in the Premier League table. If you want to see more Spurs content, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below who your player of the match is from this match, and we will start with goalkeeper Fraser Forster. I'm going to give him a 7.
I'm also going to give Fraser Forster a 7.
He made one very, very good stop to deny a West Ham counter attack. I don't remember who the shot was from. I believe it was Jared Bowen, but I'm not entirely sure. But regardless, it was a great stop from the goalkeeper. So, but really, nothing else for him to do today.
Yeah, that shows how good our defense was today.
Yeah.
And I really love how he's so comfortable with his feet on the ball.
He did come out of the box a lot, and he's very comfortable
to just boot it.
Yeah, which was something we haven't seen in a goalkeeper for a while with Hugo Lloris.
For the last 12 years.
He often gets shaky with the ball at the feet, and you always feel a sense of nervousness when he has the ball at the feet. So Forster provides a different level of, just calmness when the ball is at his feet. And I know he's not the most athletic in terms of, getting down low.
He always gets the job done,
though. But he's getting the job done right now, and he's filling the gap pretty well in place of Hugo Lloris. We'll move into the defense now, starting with Cristian Romero. I'm going to give him an 8.
I'm giving him an 8 as well.
Unbelievable performance today.
He was different gravy today.
Yeah.
Flying in with tackles. Almost every every slide tackle that he made, he got right.
Yeah.
Literally. Because one reason why he does that is because he's fully committed to every single thing that he does.
Yeah. And he made so many tackles today, so many important slide tackles, but they were very carefully measured. He was not going in very rashly or aggressively. He was going in when he knew he had a chance to win the ball. And I'm going to say 99% of those times, he won the ball. I think that he gave away 1 foul today, which is a record low for a guy like Cristian Romero. But unbelievably solid at the back, and a beautiful, beautiful performance from our center back there. He did come off with a little bit of a knock, so maybe something to be potentially concerned about. But he was good today. Let's continue now onto our next center back, Eric Dier. I'm going to give him a 7.5.
I'm also going to give Eric Dier a 7.5. Huge improvement from last match against Leicester.
Yeah. Going from...
The only mistake he made today was in the first 40 seconds when Jared Bowen had that opportunity. He completely got lost. He was kind of going into Lenglet's operating space and not staying in his own central position.
Yeah.
Guti was kind of left alone on that right-hand side. Guti kind of had to fill in for Dier's position in that instance. But later in the game, he did really well. And he kind of fixed his problems where he hesitates when not putting
doesn't
his challenge.
tackle. Yeah. So that was very important today. And Dier was just very commanding today. I think that was the key thing for us, is that he had to be commanding in the back line, and Dier doing that today meant that we kept a clean sheet. Our next center back is Clement Lenglet. I'm going to give him a 7.
I'm going to give Lenglet a 7.25. He was pretty good at times, little shaky.
Mistakes, a couple of mistakes,
but other than that, he was really good today.
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake really came when he was tackled off the ball by Thomas Souček, and West Ham were in with a chance, but Cristian Romero came as backup and slid in to save the day. A little shaky at times, I think, today, Lenglet, but
he's really good today.
For the most part,
I
think he was pretty good.
Solidifying his place at that left center back position, and then Davies solidifying his place at left wing back.
Yeah, because somehow this club has managed to make a left center back our best option for left wing back, despite having 2 left wing backs at the club.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird when you think about it, kind of crazy. But Davies really put out a good performance today, and so I think we'll see Lenglet at that left center back position for a little longer.
In all honesty, Davies is not a left center back. He's
a left back.
Originally, he was a left back, which kind of gives him that attacking mindset when he plays as a left wing back.
That's very true, yeah. He was very good. Speaking of wingbacks, we're going to continue to goal scorer Emerson Royal. I'm going to give him an 8.
I'm going to give Emerson an 8.25. Man was on fire today.
He was unbelievable. Everything that came off of his feet was absolutely perfect today. He literally did nothing wrong.
Similar to Man City.
Yeah, and really, we have to start...
Really good finished goal.
Yeah.
People say he can't attack, but he just scored today.
We have to start having a conversation about the way Emerson has been playing, because this is like his 6th consistent performance in a row. He was great today. He was one of our better players against Milan. He didn't start at Leicester. Masterclass against City at home. Didn't start against Preston. Masterclass against Fulham. And it all goes back to that start against at Man City where he scored and had a great performance. So this is like 6 or 7 top tier performances from him. And if you look at the lineup, it's kind of lined up with when Pedro Porro started to become linked to Spurs. Ever since then, he's been pulling out big performances. It's a competition. This is the same thing we saw in Serge Aurier. And we saw this when Matt Doherty came in. And I think we saw this... We've definitely seen it a couple more times. But, yeah, I think Emerson was easily, one of our, if not the man of the match, but one of the best players on the pitch today. Now we'll move into our left wing back, Ben Davies. I'm going to give him a 7.75.
I'm also going to give Ben Davies a 7.75.
I thought his assist for Emerson's goal was excellent. The run that he made into the middle of the pitch was beautiful. He was great all game. And this is kind of a surprise for me because I don't think a lot of us saw this coming.
Yeah, he surprised us at left wing back. It's all because he played at left back before under Poch.
Yeah.
Which gives him the attacking mindset that he has, like we mentioned earlier.
His crosses were a little bit off at some point. Some were good, some were bad.
Way better than that one cross against AC Milan.
Yeah, but some were good, some were bad. But I think when the ball's on the ground, Ben Davies is a lot better.
He doesn't need to cross. That's not one... Because Son can handle all that if Davies doesn't get in Son's space.
Yeah.
Son can handle all that.
That's
the problem with Perisic, too.
Yeah. Perisic needs to have every attacking ability of Son and every defensive ability of Davies, and he has to push them together because Perisic operates way too far up for a left wing back, I think, in our system, and they aren't able to have the same cohesion that Emerson and Kulu have. Emerson and Kulu work together very, very well, but Son and Perisic, that link is just not there. So Son's just not able to operate with a left wing back. But regardless, Ben Davies was very good today. And I think he could be a possible solution for, at least while Sessegnon's out, Son, who could play behind Son as Son is on that left wing. Because Perisic, I think if we want Son to succeed, Perisic is really out of the question. And if it comes down to the question of if we rather play Perisic or Son every day. Because Son scores. Son produces the results. Perisic, he has more chances, but he's never able to score. So, I think in that situation, I'd take Son and Davies left wing back over like a Son and Perisic left wing back. Let's move into midfield. Another very strong department today. We'll start with Pierre-Emile Hojbjerg. I'm going to give him an 8.
I mean, Pierre a 7.75. What a pass for Emerson's goal.
Unbelievable pass. That we've seen only once before this season.
It's like a hot knife through butter, that goal.
We've seen that once before this season. And the only time that we saw that is when Hojbjerg produced the same pass for Sessegnon's goal against Bournemouth when we were 2-0 down. It's a replica of that pass, and he is just a master at reading the game and knowing the exact moment to send that pass through. And when it goes through, it's like it just fits in beautifully.
It's like hot knife through butter.
Davies latches on. Emerson is following through, and then we've got our 3 attackers just behind there in Richarlison, Kane, and Kulusevski, at least today.
Hojbjerg also has some really good game management. We saw that against Leicester, where he just buys time. He knows how to waste time.
Yeah.
He knows how to do everything. Yeah. Man's just so good in midfield.
He's a very underrated, in my opinion, midfield general for Spurs.
Like, who did you take? Declan Rice or Hojbjerg?
Hojbjerg every day of the week.
Hojbjerg all day.
He bossed it today against Declan Rice. Made him look like a nobody today. So, I'd take Hojbjerg
Many people
over
would take
Rice.
Declan Rice over Hojbjerg. But
Just because of that English hype.
Yeah.
If Rice is allegedly worth like 100 mil, then Hojbjerg is at least 170 to 200 mil. Easily. Hojbjerg is a much, much better player, but I don't think he gets the respect that he deserves.
He does not. He needs to get that respect.
Regardless, very, very good performance from Hojbjerg today. His midfield partner, Skipp, was also really good today. I'm going to give Skipp an 8.
Skipp is like taking notes off of Hojbjerg. I'm also going to give Skipp an 8. He's taking notes off of Hojbjerg. It seems like that. I didn't expect him to start today. I expected Sar to start. But Skipp did really well today.
I think he had a bit of a shaky start today. Got an early yellow card. Lost the ball once or twice. But he grew into the game excellently. And by the end, he was striding around, bossing the midfield.
I feel like Guti, he gets a lot of his slide challenges right. Maybe he got one wrong today, I think.
Yeah, and that was when he got the yellow card.
Yeah.
That was the one wrong slide challenge that Skipp produced. But other than that, absolutely incredible in midfield. And I know we were all saying, like, oh, Hojbjerg, Skipp, it's going to be too defensive. Turns out it's fine. And it actually worked out better than a lot of people expected because we shut down all the forward players of West Ham. And I think I mentioned this before, but again, we gave West Ham zero clear opportunities.
If we rule our defensive half, if we rule the midfield, then we're gonna have no problem attacking.
Yeah. So let's move into our front three now. We're gonna start with Dejan Kulusevski. A lot of people thought he would be dropped for this game after his slight downturn in form, but he produced a pretty solid performance today, much above the way he's been performing lately. I'm going to give him a 7.5.
I'm also giving him a 7.5. He has some really good crosses in the into the box today. Even on his right foot, he just knows how to kind of just like loft it up into the area where Kane lurks, and he knows how to do it.
Yeah. No assist today for Kulusevski.
Definitely deserved one.
Deserved one, and he created the most chances in the match with 3. As we went into the game, he got more confident and more confident. Early in the match, like, he'd have great shooting positions, but didn't take a shot. Look for a pass first.
Like in the second half, with him, Emerson passing the ball to Kulusevski cutting in, Emerson going on the overlap, which creates that space for Kulusevski. Then Kulusevski comes in and takes a shot. He nearly scored. Fabianski made a great save to deny him. But that's really similar to his goal against Norwich in the last game of last season. And
just curling it around the top. So, I think Kulusevski is definitely on his way back up for Spurs. And I think it comes at the right time. And hopefully we will see some goals and assists from him, because I think he struggled a lot since his injury. But we'll move on to our next attacker in our lineup, Harry Kane. I'm going to give him a 7.25. Got the assist for Son's goal later on in the match.
I also rated Harry Kane a 7.25. Brilliant assist for Son's goal. Really physical, especially when he kind of nudged off Ogbonna in that play to create Son's goal. Yeah. But other than that, Kane did really well. I think his biggest chance was when he had a volley. It was kind of awkward for him.
Yeah.
Because he was taking it on the volley, kind of on the inside of his foot when he was at a weird angle on the goal.
And it went all the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the ball took a weird bounce. That was probably the only chance he had. Most of the chances came for, like, Kulusevski, other players.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, in the first half, he had little to no chances. No one had any chances, really.
Yeah, that's true.
Clear-cut chances. Yeah.
Solid performance from Kane. I think he was a little quiet in the first half. But as we grew into the game, of course, we got better. And as the whole team got better, Kane got better. And eventually he was able to get that all-meaningful assist for Son, which means they are now at 45 goal combinations between Kane and Son. For a while now, they have been the most successful goal combination partnership in the Premier League, and they are now 9 ahead of the next partnership. So the top 5 goes like this: Anderton and Sheringham for Tottenham at 27 goal combinations. Then Henry and Robert Pires for Arsenal at 29. Tied on 29, David Silva and Aguero for Man City. 36, Drogba and Lampard for Chelsea. And at 45 goal combinations is Harry Kane and Heung-min Son for Tottenham Hotspur. And if Son continues his uptick in form, we're just going to see more of this.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him play without Perisic on that left wing. Yeah. This is the way I want us. I hope we start our next match against Chelsea. We need to start Forster in goal. Well, who else are we going to start? Lenglet, Dier, Romero, back three.
Yep.
Emerson right wing back, Davies left wing back, two in midfield, probably Hojbjerg and Skipp again.
Yeah.
And then Son, Kane, Kulusevski. There's no way Davies is going to get in the way of Son. I think Perisic just takes up too much of Son's space where Son is forced into midfield, and I think that will work so much better for him.
Yeah. Let's move on to our last attacking player on the starting 11, which is Richarlison, who came into the side for Son Heung-min. Not the greatest performance today. I'm going to give him a 7.
I'm going to give Richarlison a 7 as well.
He was okay, I think. He was trying to do stuff, get on the ball. His best chance of the half came late in the first half where he received a long ball from Harry Kane, took it down. A very tight angle. It comes off of Fabianski's ankle and out for a corner.
Also in the second half, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
It was that one.
Chance.
He chased and then he completely did a 360. And kind of on the half volley, not really on the half volley. He nearly megged Fabianski.
No, that was the end of the first half.
End of the first half, yeah.
But he had another chance from Kulusevski. Kulusevski dragged back in the second half, and Richarlison all the time in the world, and he just it goes straight into the middle of the goal. It was a pretty disappointing hit from Richarlison. I think he could have done a lot better considering the way Kulusevski set him up. And then, of course, he was inevitably taken off for goal scorer Son later on in the second half. But I don't think he's going to start over Son. Not just yet.
Not yet.
Especially considering that Son scored. He's not going to start over him. But yeah, Richarlison, he was okay. Nothing crazy. Moving on to our first substitute, the only substitute we're going to rate, of course, the goal scorer, Heung-min Son. I'm going to give him a 7.75.
I'm giving Sonny a 7.5. Really good today. Really well taken goal. Looked like his old self with that finish.
Yeah. Finish was beautiful.
Yeah. Just put it past Fabianski with calmness, which he normally always does. And we saw him without Perisic today for the first 15 minutes or so.
His confidence was so much higher without Perisic than it was when Perisic came on, because then immediately Son just moved to the center and he just looked devoid of everything.
Yeah.
And it was the weirdest thing to see, because you went from a guy who just ran took a beautiful ball into his stride and passed it past the goalkeeper, to Son, who's just kind of planted in midfield, very unsure. Looked very unsure.
Looked very hesitant.
Yeah.
It's because Perisic is taking up his space on the left wing side.
I think that's the key.
We need someone more defensive on the left wing side. Because if our defense, like Obi-Wan Kenobi says, a defense is the best attack.
Yeah.
You know? So we need to have our defense good. I think Ben Davies at left wing back is going to be really good for us for these last 15 games.
I think there's still a solution for Perisic if he comes into the front three.
Yeah.
That's always a solution.
We saw him against Liverpool, I believe. Like that.
And
he hit the crossbar.
Yeah, it was Liverpool. Yeah. And he played pretty well.
And
he's finishing a little bit off, but he played well. But Son, going back to Son, very, very good cameo off the bench today. Getting the goal, which will undoubtedly boost his confidence. And hopefully he'll be in good shape for our next meeting in the Premier League, which is against Chelsea. So it's another big London derby coming up next Sunday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So look out for that one. But this is a good win this week. It gives us the points, gets us into the top 4, at least for this week. It's a big, big win for us. But that is it for our ratings for Tottenham Hotspur's win over West Ham in the London derby. If you enjoyed and want to see more Spurs content, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what your ratings for each of the players are and who your man of the match is. And until next time,
come on, you Spurs!